Hello, YouTube. It's Barbara Jean. You know, I really must have, have the Spirit of God in me because normally I have a harder time getting things out. But for some reason, um, although I've been slurring my words a bit, stuttering a bit, having a bit of trouble with my reading. However, this has not been as difficult as I expected it to be. Um, anyway, chapter 13 of the book of Revelation. We see the beast has been thrown down. The dragon's been thrown down. Now he's really mad, and he's going to go after the woman. So this is the next thing that happens in the tribulation. He's really mad. He's been thrown down. He has no authority in the heavenlies anymore, and now he's going to go after the woman. Now we have basically how he's going to do it. Okay, he inhabits a man. But anyway, let's just keep on. Let's just read chapter 13. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. Now, where did we see the sea before? Well, the angel with the 1 foot in the ocean and 1 foot in the sea. On 1 foot, excuse me, 1 foot on the earth, one foot in the sea. We see, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and those who are in the sea. And here we have the beast rise up out of the sea. Maybe the sea represents those who are of this, the hybrid race. I don't know. Anyway, it's something to do with uh, earth beings and those who are not quite earth beings because they come out of the sea. Anyway, this beast comes up out of the sea. Okay, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. I think this is a hybrid. Personally, I think this is a hybrid. Um, I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I just do. I think this is a hybrid who is developed, and he has been given authority. He's going to inhabit Satan. Satan's going to inhabit him. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were the feet of a bear, and his mouth the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So he's a hybrid. He's a hybrid. I think that's what this is really referring to. It could refer to that he's a mixed person, mixed race person, or it could mean, not that I'm saying that mixed race people are hybrids, that's not what I'm saying, because human beings are human beings, but I think this man is more than a human. I think he's something else. Um, and one of his heads was wounded unto death. Now this man represents the beast system, the political system. He's going to be the head of this beast system, which represents communism. And, the China is the dragon, the bear is Russia, leopard is Greek or the Eurasia. Um, there's 3 things there. So he's kind of a conglomerate of different ideologies, political ideas. So this is just not one thing; it's many things. It could be many dimensions. Like if you take one thing and said it has to be exactly that, well, then you probably are going to find that someone can argue against it and say this is that. No, this is this because of da. So it could be multiple things that are going on with this particular beast, this representation. This is a person, this is a system, this is a ideology, it's a ism of some sort, but it's a hybrid. It's also a hybrid. Okay, it is something that was created by Satan. Okay, uh, it's Satan copying the Lord in his own satanic sort of way, an upside and screwed up way. Okay. Um, And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and his great authority. So Satan is given this beast, this hybrid, um, this authority to. Satan is thrown down. This is after the 2 witnesses. This is after 3.5 years of their prophesying. You have this beast son taking authority. He doesn't take authority. Isn't it interesting? He doesn't take authority right away. He's not given authority right away until all these other events happen. Um, anyway, he's wounded on the head, which it indicates that he's inhabited by Satan. Because remember, Satan um, uh, had his head crushed with the heel of the Lord. The Lord crushed the head of the serpent, and therefore this man represents this system also has his head crushed. His one of his heads, as it were, wounded to death, and his wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? So, like I said, this is a political system. It is a man embodiment of this political system. This man will have a deadly wound, a head wound, and he will survive because of the power of the Satan. Satan will inhabit him. And he was given unto him, this is verse 5, his mouth to speak great things and blasphemies, and the power was given unto him to continue 42 months, 3.5 years. Okay, so like I said, somewhere along this line, there's a time period of stuff. Where exactly it all fits in, what 3.5 years is talking about, where and when and how long, or it's in the middle, and that's something we're not going to really understand until we get to it. But nonetheless, this is another 3.5 years here, and now Satan is thrown down. Remember, he's thrown down, and he's going to go after the woman. Here we have this beast rise up. Satan's mad. He inhabits his man. So somewhere along the line, I think this is 3.5 years in to this whole wrath time of God. He was given power to continue for 42 months. That's 3.5 years. So I think this is after the time of this is after the time of the two witnesses, because the war happens, Satan is thrown down. Okay, so we have at least 3.5. We have at least 7 years going on here, at least, or maybe even more, between the time of the rapture and the time of the first seal being, the seventh seal being opened. Okay, we have the sixth seal and the time period between the sixth and the seventh seal. I'm not sure how long that is, but then there's also a half an hour peace or quiet in heaven. That could be the 3.5 years before the birth of the child in chapter 12. Then we have another 3.5 years of the authority of this beast that rises up and takes authority of the earth, who has this deadly head wound. Okay, so anybody who says that the wrath is only an hour or a year or who knows what, well, they're wrong, because they haven't read the whole scripture. They haven't read the book of Revelation. It's very clear that there is at least, it seems to me, at least 7 years, at least. Okay, let's go on. Anyway, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And the power was given him over all kindred and tongues and nation. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Where do we hear that? We heard that, of course, in the revelation of the churches, the letters to the churches. He kept saying that if any man have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. So this is that this beast rises up to overcome the Laodicean church, the last day saints. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another so this is the patience of the saints. Where did we see that before? Let me just check back here and check chapter Revelation. Excuse me, just a moment, people. I just got to. Has kept my word of patience. That's what said about the church of Philadelphia, that they kept their word of patience and the patience of their faith. So in other words, they waited patiently for the Lord. And anyway, yeah, that's where I saw it before. Okay, let me go back to chapter 13. Sorry about that. I needed to look that up. So he's now saying that during this period of time, Satan will have authority over the last day church, the Laodicean church. Satan will be given authority over them to overcome them, to kill them. Okay? And there came another beast. He had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So this is the false prophet. The beast and the false prophet rise at the same time. They're given authority at the same period of time. Um, and the false prophet exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein, this is verse 12, to worship the first beast, whose head deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, and so that he maketh fire come down from heaven and on the earth in the sight of men. So he does false lying signs and wonders. So this false prophet is given a great deal of power to have these great signs and wonders to show that he is the prophet of God. Well, the wrong God, but that's what he does. And he deceives them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. And he had the power, again, this false prophet is given the power to give life unto the image of the beast. That's interesting. Now, what that exactly means, I'm not sure, but nonetheless, this false prophet is given the power to give the image of the beast life, a sort of life, so that the image of the beast should speak, and they that would not worship the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both great and small, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark of their hand on their forehead. And no man is might by ourselves, save that he had the mark of the name of the beast and the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him have understanding to count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, which we know is 666. So we see here that the mark of the beast isn't actually implemented for at least 3.5 years into the tribulation, the Great Tribulation. Isn't that interesting? The great wrath, the wrath of God, the mark of the beast doesn't actually get implemented until after the prophecy of the three prophets, the time of the three prophets, which is 3.5 years. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Now, let's go to chapter 14. Let's continue. Here we see the 144,000. Remember, they had already been sealed with the mark of God during the during the same process as during the sixth seal, and during the time of the rapture. These 145,000 Jews were sealed. And now we see them here in chapter 14. This is their rapture. They get raptured, people. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their foreheads. So, and I heard a voice from heaven, and the voice of many waters, and the voice of the great thunder, and I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sang as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. They are redeemed from the earth. These are people who are in heaven. We know they're in heaven because they're before the throne of God. We know it because the four beasts and the elders, they're given a different position. They're not in the temple of God like the bride is in the temple. The beasts are before the throne. Excuse me, the beasts. These 144,000 are given a different position. They're given this position before the throne of God. They have the name of the Father on their foreheads. So they're not part of the bride in the same sense that we are the bride. They're because they were down on earth during the time the bride was given birth in heaven, delivering the kingdom. They were down earth delivering the gospel. Okay? So then they're redeemed. They're removed. They're raptured at this particular time because no man's allowed to harm them. And the great wrath of God, which is going to fall on because of this wrath of the beast, because the beast was given authority to overcome the saints, they are removed. Isn't that interesting? They're removed. So they will not be hurt by the beast system, and the beast will not have the power over them. And they removed to the throne of God, God the Father. That's where their position will be, and they're given a song that only they're allowed to sing because of their testimony. Um, um, anyway, It's just continued. It just describes them and how that they were they were without fault, and they were before the throne of God. Let's continue. And now instead of the 144,000 preaching, it's now going to be angels preaching. This is that. Verse 6, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel, to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongues and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of waters. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of her wrath and of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive in his mark of the forehead, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. The smoke of their torment ascendeth forever and ever, and they shall rest neither day nor night. And whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saint. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. So we now, the 144,000 are redeemed from the earth, and now we have these angels proclaiming the gospel. Okay? God is still sending out his mercy into the world. He's redeemed his 140,000 now. But he's still showing mercy on the earth by sending these angels to proclaim the gospel. Because remember, now God has control of the atmosphere. Satan has been thrown down. God has been given control and authority because of this war in heaven, because the bride had given birth. Now God is able to make war with Michael and his angels. Satan is thrown down, and now God has authority over the atmosphere of the earth. Now the angels will have freedom to go out and proclaim the gospel. Okay, that's amazing. Okay. So anyway, they're warning everybody. Here's the mark of the beast. The beast is rising. This final push to overcome the church. Those who he's been given permission, but don't be overcome, because if you take this mark, you're going to be tormented forever. Okay. Now we see Jesus. We see Jesus. He shows up. Jesus shows up at this time. He's been at rest, feasting with his bride, and now he shows up. Let's read verse 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Lord, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So the saints will be overcome at this time. And in fact, it is part of their testimony. They must die, because the beast will not allow them to live, because Satan now has authority over the earth. He's been thrown down, and he's been given the right to kill anyone who doesn't take the mark of the beast. Okay? But the angels are warning, don't take it. And blessed are you if you don't take it. You're going to be blessed. So don't do it. And if you do take it, you'll be damned forever. Okay? And I looked, and behold, and this is verse 14, and look, I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud sat one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head the golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. Now, Christ is sitting on a cloud. He's taken authority over the air. He's taken authority over that atmosphere that Satan has at this present time. He has authority over the air, but Jesus Christ has taken authority of the air. And now he's sitting on a cloud, and he's got a sickle in his hand. What is this indicating? He's harvesting. It's the grape harvest. That's what you take when you harvest the grapes. You take it and you cut. And grapes are crushed. And it's talking about those who die, those who are going to die for not taking the mark of the beast. They're going to be crushed, but this is their testimony. This is the Laodicean church. They will be given thrones if they will not allow themselves to be overcome by Satan, if they go to their deaths. By going to their deaths, they're going to receive the throne, the authority to sit on thrones on earth. Okay, let's just continue. So you always see Jesus. You haven't seen him for all this time. Here he is. He's sitting on a cloud, and he's got a sickle in his hand. And let's continue. And verse 15, and another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud. It's crying out to Jesus. Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. So now this is the great harvest. This is when a huge amount of people will turn to Jesus Christ, but they will be killed because they refuse to take the mark of the beast. A very, very interesting and precarious time. Let's just finish chapter 15, and then I'll call it a video. I'll call it a video after this. Chapter 15, verse 1, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them was filled the wrath of God. So now God is going to harvest the earth before the 7 last plagues are poured out, the worst plagues. So basically what happened, we have a time period now of Jesus sitting on the throne, sitting on the clouds with a sickle. He harvests the earth. How is he harvesting? He's harvesting the souls of those who refuse to take the mark of the beast. Okay? Satan is given authority to take their lives. He's allowed to do this. And this is Jesus Christ on the cloud harvesting the grape harvest, which are the crushed grapes, which indicate blood. There will be a lot of shedding of blood. There will be a lot of people. And we also see a sickle is kind of like when you see beheading, sword coming down on people's heads, people being killed with a sword. Okay, that's basically the same scenario that we see with the sickle. He's harvesting, and this is a very it's a bloody harvest. Okay, but it is this harvest because many will be killed because they refuse to take the mark of the beast. It's a very terrible time, but also realize it's also a time of Jesus Christ taking in a great harvest. Many, 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 many souls will be saved as a result of this harvest. Let's just finish this. So now, before Christ pours out the last judgments, remember we're in the 7th seal. We've already had 7 trumpets and 3 woes, and now we're seeing the bowl judgments. That's still part of the 7th seal. But this is the last of the wrath. God harvests first, then comes the final wrath, which are the bowl judgments. Okay, so how long it takes Satan to kill the saints who won't take the wrath, but all that's basically left, really, people are there's not many people left that are going to be left after this last harvest. There may be a remnant of each nation left, so that when Christ comes back and the nations of the world start to build up again, but there won't be many people who will be left on the earth who haven't been completely corrupted. Okay, let's continue. So the last bowls, the last 7 angels with the 7 last plagues, and in them are filled up with the wrath of God. And I saw, as it were, the sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that gotten the victory over the beast, and over the image, and of his mark, and over the number of his name, stand in the sea of glass, having the harps of God. So we see the souls of the harvest. They are now standing before the throne of God. A sea of glass mingled with fire. These people have been through the fire. They've been through the refining. Where did we see the refining fire? Where did we see that? We saw in chapter 3, Laodicea. It said, verse 18 of chapter 3, I counsel thee to buy me gold tried in the fire, which thou may be rich, and white raiment which thou may be clothed, that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salve, that they may seest. That's the same indication there. We say, like I said, you start to see the puzzle pieces all come together here. I see, verse 2, and I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. There it is right there. glass is actually made from fire. From when sand is burnt and melted down, it becomes glass. And they that were gotten the victory over the beast, how are they given victory over the beast? They didn't take the mark of the beast. That's how. And over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand at the sea of glass, having the harps of God. And they sing a song. Listen, this is interesting. They sing the song of Moses, the servant of God. They have a different song. They're given their own particular song. They're given the song of Moses, the servant of God. I wonder why. I don't know why, but that's very interesting to know that they're given the song of Moses. And the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold, a temple of the tabernacle of the testimony was opened. So there's another thing that's opened here. The temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven. So there's something new opened up because of their testimony, because of this great harvest, because of this sickle harvest. Something else, a new authority, a new something was opened in heaven. That's amazing. That's interesting. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues. So this is the last judgment. Because of this, they were faithful, and they gave their lives and were harvested in the spirit to heaven. Now God opens this last temple door, tabernacle, testimony door, and out come these angels with the 7 last plagues. And the 4 beasts gave, this is verse 7, and the 4 beasts gave unto them the 7 angels 7 golden vials full of the wrath of God, who liveth for ever and ever. And the temple was filled with the smoke of the glory of God and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. So no man was able to enter the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 last plagues were fulfilled. So I guess what I'm getting from that is that, we're not allowed to go and petition the Lord on behalf or for mercy for the earth. That's what I'm getting, is that the Lord says, no more mercy, no more petitioning, no more. I'm not going to hear any more pleas for the inhabitants of the earth, because my wrath has to be poured out. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay, so that's chapter 15, and there we are. We already got to chapter 15. That's amazing. And we're going to get to some more exciting stuff. There's still quite a bit left to do. We've got basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more chapters to go. I can't even believe I got through this many chapters in this amount of time. But anyway, we're going to get to the 7 last bowl judgments during the 7th seal that are going to be poured on the earth after the harvest of the grape harvest. So I hope this has been helpful. I will talk to you later in my next video. God bless.